Hey guys, welcome back to iSoft Originals official YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel. From my metrics, I can see that most of my viewers have not subscribed to my YouTube channel. So please do well to smash the red button which has the text subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification bell icon to get notified anytime I upload any exciting video. And also, this project source code has been given to you in the description below, and you can clone this project from the GitHub. Please do well to follow me on all my social media platforms for more updates. So previously, this is what we did from our previous video. We saw how we could add this particular screen when using going through some procedures, step-by-step procedure to add up the mix screen. Today, what we're gonna do, or what we're gonna tackle, is the search page. And from the KineMaster project, or from the KineMaster app, this is what I can see from the search page. So from here, I just have to make sure I do something similar like this. Alright, so with no further ado, let's hop right into it. First of all, I have to make some corrections up here. You can see that I have these guys here and they are constant, but when you come here, instead of search, it is mix, create, and this is me, and it is mixed still. So let me quickly fix that. So I'm just going to go to my main screen, then I just come down. This is the mix, that is the dashboard, that is the mix, this is the search. So just have to make some corrections, and this is the the me, right? Just the me. Just save it up and all will be changed. Perfect. Now we have some functions here we can use in addition to this. So I'm just gonna search in to see. I think that is actually going to be show selected labels. Let's set it up to true, just like that, and let's save it, and all the labels will be shown right here. Alright, so let's add up additional one. So let's say show unselected label. Also, let's set it up to true, and that is actually going to bring it up just like that. Alright guys, so now let's get to the search section. As you can look at this, you can see this is a column. Let me just quickly show you what I actually want to talk about, so you can just get a better understanding of what I'm trying to say. Right now, this whole thing is a column, and inside the column we have a text field here filled up with a container, and inside the container we have the text field, right? Good. And from here we have a list of categories, which of course we're going to do that just right here. And from here we have a list of grid items, right? All right, so what it does is, when you click on any of these, it just redirects you to this mix screen for you to know the particular, so it just redirects you to the mix screen for you to know the particular category of videos you want to watch, right? All right, so we will be doing that later on, but we just want to build the UI first. So now let's get to work. Perfect. What we're going to start to do is, let's just go to the search page. Let's make sure we are working on the search page, and as you can see from here, it all has the same background color, so we just have to blend everything with the background color, right guys? Perfect. So let's just do that. So from here, I have my background color here. Before I do this, let me quickly organize the whole thing so that I won't be repeating myself once again. So I will quickly go to the colors. The other time we were creating the colors, but I told you that we have to move to another section before we proceed to add up the colors. So I'm going to specify BG color. Let's say BG color we're just going to specify color, then I call this bg color, which is equals to, so I just have to import the material package because I will be using the material package. So I just go to the main, just gonna copy from here, const, just copy that, come back to the colors, then let's just paste it right here. This is actually going to be an assignment for you. You have to do this because I am just going to do it once more, whilst when I am going through the colors, I will be bringing them here. So I'll just copy the background color, that is the bg color, go to the main, just paste this here, make sure everything is cool, just import it one more time, and all the colors here, they actually looks like the same thing, so you just have to paste them here just like that. Then you have your colors to be controlled here. That looks great. So I have the same color here. So let me just quickly go to the search screen. So I'm just going to go to the search screen here, and instead of returning a center, I'm just going to delete it, and I'm just going to return a column just like this. And the column is actually going to contain children, and I just have to remove this const from here to get it this way. Perfect. Now inside the children, as you can see, as I was telling you from the presentation, you can see that this is a container, and we have another container, a list of categories filled up with buttons, and we have this whole grid view container, right? So let's start out with a text field widget, right? So let's get to work. Now with a text field widget, what we actually going to do is, from this we're just going to specify a container, and I would just love to set up the container width to be the media query dot of context. Then I'm just going to say dot size dot width, and with a height I'm just going to set it up to 130. And first of all, just add the decoration, that is going to be a box decoration, and I'll just set a color to maybe colors.white for now. I just want to make sure I have this here. And also I have the container but I can't see, so with a background color of the scaffold, I'm just going to use the bg color, and automatically it is being imported here. Now when I save this, you actually see the container up there. Now the container is very long, so I just have to set it up to maybe 100. There you go. So let's make it maybe 70. I think 70 is quite enough. So what I'm actually going to do is let's just fix this const, and with a container I'm just going to wrap the container with a padding, so that I will just make sure I have a padding room for this. Perfect. Now this is quite enough, so I'm just going to show you the simplest and the easiest way how I structure up my app UIs, right? So what I'm actually going to do is, with the container I'm just going to get a child, and the child is actually going to be a text field, just a default text field, and I'm just going to remove the color from here because I just used the color to see how I just want to do my things. So now you will see the text field in here. So I just have a text field here, and the text field also has a lot of should I say parameters. It has a lot of functionalities, right? Which of course you can add controller, you can add text input type, text input field, I mean a lot. So we actually gonna add, let's see the things it has. It has a decoration, it has a controller, it has a style, all those things, right? So let's first add a decoration, and we can say input decoration, and this input decoration can contain the border, the border radius and all that, right? Good. So we can decide to choose any of this. We can say the fill color, we can set the fill color to true. We can set a fill color to we can choose colors dot maybe white, and that is actually gonna, you know, fill up this guy for us. And it has its own way of dealing, you know, its way of, you know, working out with these things, right? The same thing goes by the label. So we have to specify a label. So the label is actually going to be what? That is going to be search for projects, right? So let's say search, oh sorry, just have to say search for projects, right? All right, so this label is actually, I think it should be a text widget, and inside here just paste this right here. Do that. Search for projects. Excellent. So we just have to work along with the const. Perfect. All right, so we will get the text right here, that is search for projects, as you can see here. But I prefer not to use this one because this is just a label text, right? So I just have to remove the label text, and I can use a hint text instead. So with a hint text, it's actually going to be just search for project, right? And that is actually going to be inside here, as you can see. So we have the hint style. Yes, we have the hint style that can be a text style, and we can just specify the color to be colors.gray, just like this. Gray. Good. And you will then see the color right there, right? Perfect. Now we can specify a border, which is of course is going to be an outline border, and you know, declaring this, you will see a border around, you know, the how do I say this, you see a border around the text field. So from here you can easily set up the border radius, right? So the border radius is going to be a border radius widget. Then we're just going to use dot circular, and we're just going to set it up to maybe 20. Yeah, let's just close and this. And what do we have here? So we just have to remove this const. Perfect. Excellent. So now you will see the border radius to be circled. So you can easily go ahead and then add it up to be 30. Depends on how you want to do it. That looks excellent. Now I have this right here, and inside the input decoration, it also has, you know, how do I say this, it also has a lot of properties you can work within, right? And when you take a look at this, it has this icon that is called the leading icon, right? So we can say that the leading that is the prefix icon, right? So we're just going to say icons. We're just going to go for the icon, that is the icon data. We're just going to say icons dot search, right? Excellent. And we can just simply specify the color of the icon. Then we say colors dot white, just like that. There you go, we have this. All right, so there are a lot of things you guys can add up to this. I mean, you can add a lot of styles to this. You can add field to true, and that is actually going to enable the field to be true as the white color we declared up here. So from here, it's actually going to allow us to choose in any color within the range. So I'm just going to go to the colors now. From my BG color, I'm just going to add a const color. I'm just going to say shadow color, and I'll use colors dot let me just use this black, you know, 45, or let's say black 54. That is quite good. So let's just copy this shadow color, and I'll just come to the search screen, and instead of fill with this, I'll just come here, then I just paste this here, shadow color. Boom, and there you go. Perfect. Now with the let's say with the decoration, which is the input decoration, you can just go ahead and then set a label for this. And I prefer not to use the label. I just want to take my time and explain these things to you so that you get a better understanding. Because if you don't get a better understanding and you just follow my instruction, you've not gained anything at the end of the day. So you just have to pass through these procedures, then you just get to know how you're gonna do it. So with the outline border, also it has some sort of border size. You can just choose the border size to be 0. It doesn't matter. So the border size also comes along with, so when you check out the type, it comes with a border size, right? And it comes along with an input decorator, and it has an input decoration, right? So it has an input decoration as well, but I'm not going to tackle the input border now. This is quite interesting and quite enough for me. You can just do a deep search on customizing text fields, and you will at least get a better understanding on how all of these things works. So I would like to use this black 2026, and yeah, perfect. Or I just like to use gray, but not that much. Let's see the gray, but I would like to add up a gray strength of maybe 700. Let's make it 900. Good. All right, how do we have here? All right, perfect. So this is what I actually want to talk about. So I think this is quite enough for me, and I'm in love with it. So now let's see the second one, right? That is the second one. Now with the second one, it's actually going to be on this section, right? So what I'm going to do is just go back to the search, and let's just fix this first. Good. What I'm going to do is, with a container I created here with a width and then the height, I'm just going to use the same thing, right? So after this padding, I'm just going to add another container, and this container too, I'll just set the width to the media query. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to use the simple method. So inside this container here, I'm just going to copy from the width and the height. Just copy that, and let's bring it in here. It's actually going to be the same thing, right? And also I'll just wrap this up with a padding so that I can actually get the padding I need. So there you go. So I have a container here as well, and inside the container I can just add up just a floating action button dot extended, and I can add an onPress function and just a label to be a text. I just want to show you something, so I'm just going to say button, and that is actually going to pop up here, you see. So yeah, now this guy here, we have to turn it up into a list, right? Perfect. So how can we do this? Because we have to how do I say this, we have to set it up to be a scrollable, like a scrollable way of it contains a lot of buttons, and as you can see from here, it is scrollable to the vertical side, and yeah, to the horizontal side, right? So what you can do from here is, we just have to return, instead of returning a child for the floating action button, we can easily return a list view builder, a list view dot builder, right? And the list view builder contains a context and an index, right? A context and an index, and this index is actually okay. So this index is actually going to contain something from here. Oh, come on. Yeah, So it's actually going to contain a context and an index. Yeah, just like this. And we have to return something because it is waiting for a return. So we have to return, let's return a null for now. So we are returning a null for now. If we return something here, example, when we return, let's say, a text, and this text actually going to be button, then we save. Now you see we have, button here. Let's just style it a little bit. All right, now we will get white text here. So we just have to make sure we know how to work with this. So how we're going to do this is basically just set the item count first, item count to maybe 10, and we just want to set up, the cross art. We just gonna set up the alignment, that is scroll direction to axis dot, let's go in for the horizontal. That looks perfect, and it's gonna go this way. Perfect. So there you go. That looks awesome, right? Good. So whilst we are returning a text, we don't want to return a text, but we can just return a floating action button dot extended, and the onPrex function is going to be there. So the label is actually going to be a text, and this text is actually going to be just a button. Yeah, perfect. Then we will get a lot of buttons here, and from this floating action button, I'm actually gonna wrap this whole thing with a padding, so that I'll just get a spacing within, right? So with this floating action button, I just have to wrap it up with a padding. Boom, there you go. So we have this and we are good to go. So from the look of things, this is what we have here. So we just have to shift this a little bit up. So what I'm going to do is with a container I have here, just set the color to colors the red to see the margins I have here. I just want to make sure the padding is working perfectly fine. Now with the pattern I have here, instead of using all, I'm just going to use symmetric for this, and I'm just going to use the horizontal for the padding. Perfect. So there you go, it is quite up. So that same thing applies to I can just copy this, come back to this return padding, that is the padding, just paste it out here, and it's actually gonna push it up a little bit. Perfect. But I like to, let's just maintain it this way so we can get it very, very neat and clear. But we can just come up here, for the container here, we can just add it up to this one instead, so that we get this very, very neat and clear. Perfect. All right, so now this color is no more needed. We are good to go. Excellent. Now let's see the color of this. That is actually going to be this same color. So we can actually set a background color to that is actually going to be the color we have from our colors here. That is going to be the shadow color. So I'm just going to copy that, and then I come to the search screen, just add it up, the shadow color. So it's just going to be the shadow color. All of them is actually going to be the shadow color, and any of them has the onPrex function, right guys? Perfect. Now let's see how we can add up whatever we want to add, right? So we will be coming there, don't worry. Let's just build up the widgets first, then we come up to the things up. Or should we just, all right, so let's just go to the dummy. Inside the dummy here, we will add a dart file. Let's call this dummy categories dot dart. Perfect. Dummy categories dot dart. I'll just add it up to my get, and I'll just add a class, and I'll just call this class dummy categories, and this is actually going to be a class. So I'm just going to create a constructor, so that is going to be dummy categories, and I have the constructor here. Perfect. So inside here, I'm just going to declare something here, and that is actually going to be, a text. So I'm just going to say string. That is going to be category name, just like that. I'm just going to do this. So this dot category name, just like that. So I have this category here. Then I can easily, create a list here, and then I call the list, right? Or I can just go inside my search screen, then I create the list by converting this stateless widget into a stateful widget. And from this state extended, I'll just come here, then I just create a list, and this list is actually going to be a list of dummy categories, and I'm just gonna call this categories. Perfect. And it's actually going to be equal to a list. Perfect. So this dummy category needs to be imported, just like that. So from here, I just want to call the dummy categories, and inside these dummy categories, I just want to set a category name to something, right? So from here, I just want to see the names I have here. So that is all marketing, corporate, education, right? So I'm just going to say all, then I add again, marketing, okay, sorry, so I just have to push this up a little. Let's see what we have here. All right, so it's just here. Perfect. Let me just delete this one. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it several times, just like that. So you just have to change the names all over. So that is going to be corporate and education. So we're just going to say okay. So let me just quickly check out the app to see how it actually looks like. So we have from here, what I can see from here, we have the all, the marketing, the corporate, the education, and then we have the celebrations, and then we have the festival and all that. So I'm just going to say festival slash, then we just add holiday, and then we have I think the social media, and then we have the vlog, the review. So let's add a vlog, and let me quickly add two of them here just to remaining, and that is actually going to be review or tutorial, just like that. And then we have the memes, just like this. So we have these categories here. So what we actually gonna do is let me just change this to media. What we're actually gonna do is we're just gonna copy this category here. We just come down, and from the item count is just going to be the category. So you're just going to say categories dot length, just like that. And from the text in here, we just going to say that categories, then we call the index of it, and from the index we simply need the category name, just like that. Now when I save this, all the names will be changed up to the categories from here. Now you can see it right here. So that is how we fetch all the data from here. Perfect. Now this section also, it is done. All right, now let's move to this section where we have a grid of items and all that. So now from that portion, or from that section, after this list view and then the container here, or let's say after the padding, we actually have to add, let me just format this code. Perfect. So after this padding, we actually want to add up a grid view builder, a grid view dot builder, a grid view dot builder, and from the grid view dot builder, the grid delegate is actually going to be a silver grid delegate. Then we use the width fixed cross axis count, and yeah. So let's do it this way. I just want you to basically understand whatever I'm saying. I don't want this to be somehow complicated. Let's just clear everything from here. Now inside this grid view, let's start one by one. First of all, let's use the physics. The physics is going to be never, that is going to be never scroll fixes, just like this. And inside this never scroll physics, let's just leave it to be blank for now. And then we're just gonna say let's try to use the shrink wrap to true, turn it up to true, and then we're just gonna go to the grid delegate. That is what we're just gonna say silver. So we're just gonna use the silver grid okay. So we're just going to use the silver grid delegate with fixed cross axis count. Yeah, perfect. Let's see, why is it just underlining this for me? All right, all right, let's see. Yeah, so we're gonna use the silver grid. So just gonna use silver grid delegates with fixed cross axis, just this one here. Perfect. And inside here, what we're actually gonna say is we're just gonna use the cross axis. That is the cross axis count. I'm just gonna set it up to 5 for now, and let's use the cross axis spacing also to 5, and let's say the main spacing also, let me set it up to 5.0. So let's set this up to 5.0. Perfect. Now let's come down here. Let's just fix all these things. Just add const here, just like that. Let's just reformat this. Perfect. Then we have to add item builder, right? So the item builder is actually going to be a context here. That is a build context. It's going to be a context, an int, and an index. So I can easily make it simple by just calling up the context and an index, just like this. And inside here I just want to return something, and here I'm just going to return a container. And with this container, I just have to specify the width of it to be, maybe let's try to use it, maybe I just want to use maybe 200 for now, and let's set a height to maybe 400, just something like this. Just want to try something like this, and let's see, we have an error here. That is actually going to be the grid view. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, so we have this no, yes, no, so we have to sorry, we have to just end the grid view builder here. Just end it there, and it's actually gonna work perfectly fine. Just save it up. Right, so yes, we have a container here, and I can just test up with a color. I can just say shadow color to see how it's actually going to appear from here. Alright, so we just have to come up here, then we just specify the item count. So let's set it up to 10. Let's see how it's actually going to look like. And also let's just try to hard reload this one more time. Just want to try and hard reload this one more time. Come on. Alright, let me pause the video. I'll be back when it is ready. Alright guys, so yeah, I just hot reload my app. I just stopped the app and then started it again, and this is what I've gotten at the end of the day. And the item count is going in for 10. So now from the container we have the width to be 200, and then the height to be 400. So we can go ahead and then set the height to maybe 600, and let's see how it's actually going to be like. So there you go. We just have to hard reload this and it's actually going to work. Let's just hard reload this. Okay, so let's get back there. Let's see how it actually looks like. So this is quite interesting. Now let's see let's try to see from here. I think with the item count, let's see with a grid view, this is the item count. Now let's just reformat this. Okay, so we have the cross axis count. It is 5. It is too much, so let's set it up to 2. And now with a 2 we can see it's actually gonna do like this. And I think we are returning just a container. And yeah, so let's try to see, can we wrap this up with a single child scroll view. Let's see how it's actually going to respond to this. Okay, so there is an overflow for this. Okay, so then we just have to make sure that this container right here is actually not going to be the container, right? So then we just wrap this grid view right here with an expanded widget, right? So just go here. I think I'm facing the same. Okay, so let's just wrap it with a widget, which will be an expanded widget, just like this, and this problem actually is going to be solved. But as you can see from here, it is still not scrollable. We can't just control this, right? Okay, so we can't just control this. So let's try to fix it out. So with a grid view here, we just have to wrap up the grid view with an with a single child scroll view. So let's add a single child scroll view, just like this. Save it up, and now it's actually going to take effect from here. Perfect. I believe you really understand what I'm trying to say. So we can just go ahead with a grid view. We can still add up a padding to this grid view. Just click here, add up a padding. Let's save this. Perfect. So we have a nice grid view right here. Now we have to fetch some images into this grid view, and I would like to set up the height of this container. I think it is responding as the same size, and it is because of I don't know, I don't think it is the spacing, but you can do it anyhow you want to do it, right? Now with this container right here, I will just remove the shadow color and add up a decoration that is actually going to be a box decoration. And with the box decoration, I'm actually going to add border radius, and that is going to be border radius dot circular, right? And the circular, I'm just going to give it a 25, and let's see how it's actually going to look like. So yeah, I just removed the color from the decoration, so let me just bring up the color back. Let's just bring the color back, and let's see how it's actually going to be like. There you go. You see? So now let's try to set this cross spacing to 15, and let's set this up to 15. Let's see how it's actually going to be like. Perfect. So now we have this, and I really love it. Now one more thing to talk about is the child. The child can be a stack, right? The child, it can be a stack. So how can we do this? First of all, I would like to set up, an image that is decoration image, and this decoration image is actually going to be, I'm going to use a fade in image, and I'm going to use it can be an asset network or anything like that, or it can be a placeholder, sorry, it can be a memory network or anything like that. So it has to get a placeholder. So with a placeholder, you can easily specify an assets, then you just add your image, or you can simply go in by adding up an image direct into your project. So in my case, I'm just going to use a network image, and inside here I just pass in the URL, right? So in my case, I'm actually going to go to my browser and make sure I go to my browser, search for any images at all. So I'm just going to go here. Perfect. So from my Google here, I'll just search for beautiful images. Okay, so I have these images here. I can just go in there. I'm not gonna download, but I just gonna take it from the URL. So I'm just gonna right click just like this, and I'm just gonna copy the image link just like that. Then I come here, I just paste it right here just like this, then I just save it up. So all of them is gonna contain the image right there, and I'm just gonna set up the fit of this. So it's just gonna be the fit is gonna be a box fit dot cover. So it's actually going to cover the whole place just like this. Excellent. Now, as compared to how we did the previous one, we can easily add up a lot of things to this. Let me just reformat this code. Perfect. And let's just add a const here. Perfect. Now, whilst we are done with this image right here, we can easily add up some things on top of this, right? So to do this, we can either add a container, then we just add up the things onto this. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm just gonna go here, then I see how it actually looks like. So you can see there is a text at the bottom here, and there is some kind of icon, little icons right here. All right, so now let's do that as well. So with a container, let's just specify a child to the container, and this child is actually going to be a stack. And now with a stack, we have a children for the stack. The first children is actually going to be a container, and I'm just going to set the width to the media query dot of context, and I'm just going to say dot size dot width. And I'm just going to set the height to the same thing. That is actually going to be the media query dot of context dot size dot height, right? And let me just specify the color first. I'm just going to use colors dot black for now. Let's see how it's actually going to be like. So there you go. It covers the whole place, right? Okay. So let's just reformat this to see the colors we are talking about. So we don't need the color here, but we actually need a decoration, which of course we will be using a box decoration in here. And now, as you can see from the image here, it has some sort of tinting of an image. It just tilts like that. It has the lighter part and then the darker part. So let's do that. Let's add a gradient. That is actually going to be a gradient, and you're just going to add a linear gradient, right? And inside the linear gradient, we just specify the colors, right? So the first color, the color is actually going to be in a list form. So the first color is going to be I'm just going to say colors dot transparent. That is for the first color, and then the second color is actually going to be colors dot black. Perfect, just like this. And let's see how it's actually going to be like. So there you go. So now let's try to work with the axis, or let's say the alignments. So let's see, that is the beginning and then the end. So let's set the beginning to, that is alignment. We have the alignment here, and we're just gonna say so we're just going to use the alignment dot top center, and we're just going to use the end to be the end also to be alignment dot bottom center, just like this. And this is how it's actually going to look like. Perfect, that is what we need. Now from here, let me just fix the const modifiers. I think we have to fix this. Perfect, and it's done. Okay, good. This looks much more great. Now let's just fix these guys as well, so we can just see what we're doing. So with this, after this container right here, I'm just going to add a position, and the child of this position is actually going to be a row, and inside this row the children is actually going to be these guys, right? So we have a download button, a text, an icon again. So the first one is going to be an icon, and I'm just going to specify the icons dot download. Okay, just like this. Just specify the color to be colors dot white, and there you go. So let's just save this and let's see where it's actually going to be. So it's going to be at the top there, right? So what we're going to use is, we're just going to use the position. So we're just going to say top to 0. Let's save it and see where it's actually going to be. Perfect. So let's use the bottom to 0, and it's actually going to be at the bottom here. Okay, so there you see. So we set left to 0 and right to 0. So this is how it's actually going to be. Let's try to remove the top. Let's see how it's going to be. Perfect. So there you go. So with the bottom, you just have to set the bottom to maybe 5, so that it's just gonna raise it up a little bit. So let's set it up to 15. I think 15 is kind of cool. Perfect. So we have this positioned here, and we have the children of a row here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and then add up a text, and this text is actually going to be the view we have here, that is the 36k. So I'm just going to say 36k, just like this, and I just save it up. So I'll just get the 36k at the front of this. So I'm just going to style it. That is actually going to be a text style, and the color is actually going to be colors dot white, just like this. Perfect. Now you can see after this we have the same thing, but there is a space in there. So what I'm actually going to do is just try to add the const modifiers to fix everything, and after, let's just try to fix these things, and let's just reformat this. Perfect. So after this text, I'm just going to add a sized box, and inside this size box I'm just going to specify the width to be 10, just like this, and I'll just copy this whole thing again and just paste it after this size box, and I'm just going to get the same thing here again. Perfect. So let's just see, this is the heart, right? This is the favorite. So I'm just going to use 1k for the favorite. So I'm just going to say the icon is actually going to be favorite. That's going to be favorite border. Perfect. So there you go. You can easily customize anything you want to do here, and it's actually going to be perfectly fine. It's going to be fantastic, right? Okay, so here we have the categories here. That is the top one. I can easily create a dummy, another dummy, that is going to be dummy, I don't know how to say this, dummy search dot dart. And inside here, I'll just add it to my git. I'm just gonna add up a class, and that is going to be dummy search. And in here, just add a constructor dummy search. And inside here, I'll just say strange, then I call in the image just like this. Then I add up strange downloads, and I add up strange, think likes, right? Just like this. Those are the three things I have here. So I'm just going to add up to the constructor this dot image, this dot downloads, this dot likes. Just a constructor for this. So I just have to come back to the search screen, just go up and collapse this list. I can just collapse this list, just like this. And yeah, so I'll just have to come after this list. I'm just going to create a new list, and that list is going to be the list of my dummy search. And I'm just going to call it my search. Come on. Okay, and that is equal to be a list. So I just have to import this from here, and that looks amazing. So from the list here, I can just go ahead and then call in my dummy search, and inside here we just have the image here. So we have the image, and we have the downloads here, and then we have the likes also here. So the like is going to be 500k, and the download is going to be 200k, maybe 250k. And the image here is actually going to be from my images, any of my images here. So this is quite interesting. I can just easily copy this image link. Please, these are I'm only using this for educational purpose. I don't use this for commercial purpose. So if you want to use it for a commercial purpose, please do well to contact the owner, the rightful owner for this particular pictures. So I'm just going to paste this up here, and I'll just try to save this. Then okay, so there is an error here. Let's see. So it's not going to be this, it's going to be that. Perfect. Let's just reformat the code to see what we've done here. That looks great. So I'm just going to copy this, copy that. 1 2 3 4 5. I need 6 7 8 9 10 images. Let's just save this, but I will just keep on changing the images 10 times. So we're just gonna go in for a new image. This image is kind of cool, so I'm just gonna copy the image link, and I just go to the second image just right here, paste it out. Yes, then we go in for the third image. This is actually not bad. I'm just gonna copy the image link. That is gonna be the third. There you go. So let's go for the fourth one. I'm actually gonna use I think this image is actually not bad. Just copy the image link, and let's just paste it out here. And let's see, for this guy also, let's see this image. All right, so let's just come to this image. Just need a beautiful image. Copy this image link, Then we just add it up to this image. Good. Then I use this image here. I think it's already been used, right? Just copy the image link. Then you just paste that from here. Excellent. So we have, at least there are many, so you just have to take your time, go through all of them, just add a lot of images you want to use, right? So depending on what you want to do, that is what you are doing, right? Perfect. So I will pause the video and add all my images links. Then I really get back to you as soon as I complete inserting all the images for my project. All right, so I'm done with the links I'm inserting. Now let's go back to our let's go back to the grid view builder. Now the item count is actually going to be the name we gave to our list up here. So that was my search. So I'm just going to copy that, come down here, and instead of the item count to be 10, I'm just going to say this dot length. That is my search dot length. So with the image here, just going to take the image out. Then we're just going to say my search. Then we pass in the index, and we just point to the image just like this. Remove the const to fix the errors, just like this. I'm just going to copy this and I come down. So this is actually going to be, that is the downloads. So I'm just going to paste this, then I change this to downloads. Perfect. Just come here. This is actually going to be the likes. So I just paste it up, then I change it to likes. That is it. So from here we just have to fix these errors. So from the chart here, just remove the const and let's just fix everything using the const modifiers. Okay, so this is how I came across to develop this type of screens. These are the procedures I pass through to develop such screens in my projects or anything I do. This is how I normally pass through to do all these things. All right guys, so now you can see we have all the images right here and they are very, very beautiful. But as you can see, the images itself doesn't have the bottom doesn't have the same curved style. So what we're actually going to do is we're just going to go up here from the decoration, from the container, from the decoration, that is this decoration. You can see we have the border radius to be this, so just copy that, and inside this container we have a decoration here. So inside the box decoration, just paste it right there and just add this guy just like that. Think yeah, let's see what is okay. So let's just remove the const and that is it. So it's actually going to achieve the same thing, and the down is actually going to be the curved one, just like that. So you can go ahead and then add many images you want to add anything you want to add, and it looks amazing. All right, I believe you've gotten a lot of ideas, a lot of knowledge on how to design your own view, how it actually looks like. Please, whilst I'm leaving, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you won't be missing any upcoming episode. On our next video, we're just gonna tackle the main screen. That is the most screen I believe people are willing to see, and that is actually gonna be, I think, where is that screen? This screen. This is what we're gonna tackle on our next video, and I believe you don't want to miss this video. So stay tuned and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell icon to get notified anytime we upload a video. Until then, we meet again on our next lesson. Have a nice day, and Airsoft Original is out. Thank you very much.